Thank you, Dilip and Bhuvnesh. I think little that I remember, I think there are 300 years of experience sitting on this panel today. I think that is what Bhuvnesh had mentioned when we started looking at this. I think endorsing what Mr. Bhandari is saying, it is also true. I don't think this industry gets the desired attention in terms of relief from the government of India. And I've been pondering over this subject for many years now because I was member of FHRAI and also Hive since 2016. But I think I only recently discovered that it is not that the government is not aware of the role in terms of employment generation, in terms of percentage to the GDP, and also being the largest foreign exchange earners. I think that importance being there, it is well understood by the government body and the authorities. But the very fact that they do not consider till date tourism industry as part of the national infrastructure. They think that national infrastructure actually deals with a larger number of people, which is railroad, ports, uh, various other activities that they carry. But sure enough, there is an acknowledgement of saying that this is part of tourism infrastructure. To that extent, the connotation and the relativity of the entire system now looks at this as a equivalent to real estate, and they call it as a commercial activity. I think I was just talking to my dad, who has been also in the industry from the part of the government. I think he explained to me while I was discussing this topic that what is it that we need to do. There is no dearth of lobbying. Actually, if you look at HAI itself, you have the most powerful entrepreneurs, industrialists sitting in that forum. And you cannot have a stature deficit. FHRA, you cannot have volume deficit. So when that kind of a representation is taking place in front of the government, why is it that the government still does not take us away from elitist tag? I think they're meant for few. I think that's the challenge, and I believe this will continue to remain a challenge. Thanks, but I certainly, if I give you immediate response, I think this is going to create lots of confidence with the public. Because
Confidence.
lots of confidence. Because to me, I don't think this is the right choice, but I think looking at the pandemic and I think social responsibility, you're part of a society, so maybe this is a task done for to alleviate the shortage of number of beds in the country because there is a ready solution. So one part is humanity. I think then you're part of it. But if you look at commercially, and if you ask my personal opinion, given the choice, this may be my last priority to ever stay in a hotel till this haze gets over and you start understanding. But first reaction is, I think it's not a very, very good decision. I have I have a different perspective, so I'll start with two statements. One is that whatever I had read in the past, there's a sentence that used to be used: "This shall also pass." So that's one statement. Second one was the only permanent thing in life is a change. That was the second one. I think we are confronted with a situation where only thing certain is uncertainty. I think so. The earlier two don't apply in my mind. That's where I say. And I think that puts a tremendous stress on people who are on trenches on the ground. So the toughest job is that all that has been said so far, and I've been hearing, there's an information overload. That information overload is causing tremendous amount of stress from personal front, on professional front, and third on financial front. I mean, that's how I think these three pillars are getting under stress. Now, second is, uh, which I believe, that this virus is the only global traveler today. If I look at the Indian history and the world history, the only traveler without boundaries can freely travel across borders is a virus. Now, we have never dealt with when you say invisible can cause it. We don't know, will invisible cure it? I have no clue. Second issue here in my mind is that how do we deal with the current situation? Because all the new parameters are either investment related, the new norms, new this thing, new innovation, putting tunnels, putting everything else is that industry is already under demand destruction. There is a revenue shortfall. There are lack of profits. Will there be new norm for GOPs, cost contributions? So I think there has to be a huge job where what we used to say zero budgeting, I think we are at ground zero now. So when you start from those angles, who will invest in this crisis? One, there is no relief from the government. We continue to say we must get an industry status. It has never happened in the last 4 decades. It will not happen even now. Now, having said that, how do you fight this battle? And there are three people who are going to fight this battle: investor, operator, or the unit team. Headquarters can only give strategic direction. So I think I will address this from the point of view of the general manager and his team. What will happen? Right of admission reserved. Will that legal document will have a change now? That if a guy is sneezing when he gets out of his car, will you allow him or not allow him? Now, these are the real life situations. Second is, would you now try and bring in quarantine floors other than executive floors and single lady traveler or lady executive travelers? Will there be quarantine floors? Will your staff get also trained in addition to first aiders, firefighters as paramedics? That's the third one. And therefore, what has happened now? There is an anxiety today at every level. Farhad said about fear, so did Rajiv. There is a fear, but there is a panic because you don't know this enemy. Thirdly, in the past, you had money, machine, and material, but you had human resources as great levelers. So you could muster a number of people and say, let's get onto the job and we will achieve our targets. Today, man is a suspect. Today, you suspect anybody that you want to meet. You are keeping now 4 principles that will apply, I think, till everything happens. Social isolation or maybe physical distance, wearing a mask, sanitizing your hands and washing your hands. So are you going to wash away with every responsibility in your life today? I have no answers, but I think it's a perspective that I'm looking at. What am I going to say? The experience that is sitting here is to tell the man on the spot, in the trench, to say the task is not so easy as is being said. There are variables. By the time a man arrives in your city, the borders are closed. He can't fly back. What happens with billing now with the corporate? Will the corporate pay his money? Will there be another kind of a corporate arrangement and different laws to maintain? Will the finance system will also change of saying no shows will not be charged? Will you be able to refund your monies? What will happen to your staff? Will you have to show Arogya Setu to a customer? He can actually demand. We don't know what are the regulatory issues. Each state, each district is now getting into. I just sent people to Nainital. They're actually in institutional quarantine, which was not even thought through. Now,
got it. We got to hurry up, Suresh. So
I am saying these are the issues that who is going to bite this bullet other than the strategist is the unit, the general manager and his team. I think this is the time to bless them, give them the confidence and say, I think time has come to get into more documentation and more detailing. Your task is now going to be defined by your attitude, habits and behavior, rather in addition to skill and knowledge that you always had. So with these few words, I thought maybe that may add some value to.
Yeah, good advice. Rajiv, over to you.